The finale of the top 145 Mario Kart tracks of all time is finally here. We are kicking things off with number 29. This is Airship Fortress from Mario Kart DS, one of Mario Kart DS's best tracks. And guys, we are going all the way to number 1. These are the best tracks. This track was a little underrated in the rankings from 5 years ago, but man, it moves up quite a few spots to just barely make it into this final video. Airship Fortress is an amazing track. It takes huge amounts of inspiration from Super Mario Bros. 3, just like Desert Hills does. So Mario Kart DS kind of really enjoyed Super Mario Bros. 3 and taking inspiration from that game. This, of course, uses the airship levels from World 8 as inspiration. The only part of this track I'm not the biggest fan of is this part right here, where you just spin down this castle and make your way straight towards the finish line in a flat line. But besides that, the track is phenomenal. And coming up from number 28, we have Rainbow Road from Mario Kart 64. You guys are going to find a ton of Rainbow Road tracks in this list, in this specific video right here. But the thing about this Rainbow Road is that this is the longest 3-lap Mario Kart track of all time, taking well over a minute, almost 2 full minutes to complete this track fully. And yes, you will see a shortcut at the end where you can cut off the entire half of the lap. But I love the track for its music. It's got a beautiful starry night sky background. It's a little bit easy for a Rainbow Road. Yes, it's long. It's a finale track, so it's taking you through this grand journey that you went to, you know, kind of serenading you through the peaceful times you had with Mario Kart 64. But Rainbow Road is supposed to be difficult. It's supposed to be challenging. It's supposed to be the be-all and end-all of Mario Kart tracks and everything you've learned. But this track, you know, with all of its guardrails, is just a bit easy. Here's the glitch I was talking about, where you can just jump off from the side and you can cut off as much space as you want. You can cut off a lot more than that, but that's an example of this amazing shortcut. So coming up next at number 27, we have Super Bell Subway, kind of a play on words to Super Bowl Sunday. I know I mentioned that 5 years ago, but I wanted to bring it back again because I always think of that nice wordplay whenever this track comes up. This is a track that I will always pick online whenever I'm playing against other players because it just emits a certain charm to it that not many other tracks have. You're not really in a subway location that often. I think that's one thing that a lot of Mario Kart tracks are missing, is those real world locations and how personable they are to our daily lives. So having a track based on a subway in a metropolitan area where a lot of people may live is a great idea and allows you to bring this, you know, level of Mario Kart closer to real life. And I really enjoy the track for how quick it is. It's a nice short track and it's not too difficult. Now, one of the most iconic tracks in Mario Kart history, not changing a single spot from the previous ranking, is Mushroom Gorge from Mario Kart Wii, and it focuses on one central mechanic, and it is those bouncing mushrooms. Not any other track in the past have taken advantage of these before, and this game featured tricks for the first time, so it figured that using bounce pads that allow you to get an extra trick boost off of them would be a beautiful mechanic, and Mushroom Gorge really does this perfectly. It also does not slack on the scenery. It's got a beautiful cave section that features tons of mushrooms. Red mushrooms where you can bounce and take tricks off of, but green mushrooms that are just normal platforms that you can drive on. This also has a fun little gap shortcut and plenty of glitches that you can take advantage of. And overall, you gotta play this track if you ever play Mario Kart Wii. It's sure to be a memorable one. And while Mario Kart Wii was the first one to introduce bounce mushroom mechanics in their game, Mario Kart 7 was the first one to introduce these huge one-lap tracks that were divided into 3 sections rather than 3 repeated laps. And Maka Woohoo is one of the greatest at this. It takes the Woohoo Island setting and turns it into a beautiful sunset vista that you can just feast your eyes on the beautiful skies and these lovely caves, and also have a great time driving on. You can take tons of shortcuts, from driving in the water to driving through a castle to driving into the water, to cut the majority of this entire second lap off, where Nintendo actually had to shut down the online servers or make a patch to where Maka Woohoo specifically did not have that shortcut in its online service anymore. And it was crazy when that was actually happening, because so many people were voting for Maka Woohoo just so they could exploit that glitch. And take a look at this final section when you were just gliding over the entirety of the island. You just see all of those polygonal models there in all of its glory. What a lovely track. Now, one of the more innovative tracks of recent memory is Mario Kart DS's Rainbow Road, and you will see why soon enough. almost imitates Mario Kart Double Dash's version of Rainbow Road with this loop-de-loop section in the beginning, but then there will be a true loop-de-loop coming along as soon as you get past these boost panels, and you are literally upside down over the track. You are going through a corkscrew, but this is the first one, a loop-de-loop with full boost panels, and the camera just follows you throughout the whole thing. This is anti-gravity before Mario Kart 8's anti-gravity was an actual thing, and they did phenomenal here in Mario Kart DS. You got a slight jump that you have to worry about and a couple of turns here and there. The scenery with all the rings and the floating pipes is just immaculate, and when you go through this corkscrew, I feel like this is a massive technological advancement for Mario Kart DS. What a beautiful physics, and made it work perfectly. This is a track I love to play over and over again just because of how amazed I am and how smoothly it plays on this system. But of course, what is any Rainbow Road nowadays without taking inspiration from the original Rainbow Road from Super Mario Kart? Such a fantastic track. Of course, the colors can be a little eye-straining nowadays because you are just flying through them quickly. You hardly have time to process them, but this track is quite difficult, one of the hardest in history. No railings, and you have these invincible star thwomps, which are more dangerous than regular thwomps that you've seen on the Bowser Castle tracks. You spin out and stop to your tracks and actually take damage when you run into them. Falling off is almost a certainty, and if you can get through even a few laps without falling off, that is a major accomplishment. So props off to anyone who can actually do this. Rainbow Road is a difficult track, but oh boy, it is such a fun one to race on. And now going from one of the hardest tracks to one of the more easier tracks, this is Koopa Troopa Beach from Mario Kart 64. Just take a look at everything this track has to offer. Right from the beginning, there are two arrow signs that are pointing in opposite directions. You can go to the left of the Koopa shell or the right of the Koopa shell, or the rock wall I should be saying. And that is really the main focal point of Koopa Troopa Beach, and why it is one of the best tracks in Mario Kart 64 is because of the diverse amount of options you can take. Look at the shortcut you can do, which is a lot harder than it looks, especially if you're not used to Mario Kart 64's controls. Koopa Troopa Beach allows you to make your lap different every time with the changing tides. If you want to go off a ramp or take a shortcut or go through the water, you can make each lap your own, and that's why we love it. And yet another one of these tracks is Bowser Castle. That's right, Bowser Castle from Mario Kart DS. I always fascinated on why so many of the Mario Kart games name their track Bowser's Castle, which makes sense grammatically, but then in Mario Kart DS this one is just called a Bowser Castle, like it's a Bowser themed castle. I'm not entirely sure, maybe best not to think too much into it, but look at the different paths you can take in this track. Of course, this also has a loop-de-loop section because why not? You can make your way onto this giant metal rod that is rotating, one of the more innovative platforms in a Mario Kart track, and if you get shrunk by lightning, you are going down and taking the long wave. You cannot make it all the way across, so this track does require a ton of skill. Take a look at the backdrop as well. The beautiful red-orange night sky is intimidating as all heck, and this is a track that you could spend a long time on. So one of the more fun things about a Mario Kart track for me is the comeback potential, where you have items, you're dead in last place, you got really burnt in the first two laps, and it might not have been your fault, but you have a chance to make a comeback. And Mario Raceway from Mario Kart 64 is one of the perfect tracks to make that happen. You have a ton of places you can take shortcuts through these trees, through the piranha plants, across the pipes. You have a ton of green grass. You can even do an ultra shortcut or a glitch where you can jump through and over the brown fence and cut over half of the lap, which is very fun and entertaining. This track allows you to take many different path options with your shortcuts and your mushrooms, and I always have a great time racing on this track because you just never know. Now here's another one of those tracks that you may think of immediately when you see Mario Kart Wii. This is Maple Treeway, one of the more obscure names for a Mario Kart track, but man does it establish that name really well with a giant maple tree that you just fling yourself into through a cannon. It is spectacular, and it just takes the entire gimmick to a whole new level. You are driving on branches, you are driving on tree chops, having to interfere with wigglers and get out of their way, or else you will get slowed down immediately. There are boost panels on these tree chops, there are zippers that you can make cut corners in, there are tons of shortcuts, and it has a huge exploration glitch that you can go out of bounds for. You can go out of bounds in a ton of places on Maple Treeway. There's certainly so much to do on this track, so many tech that you can explore, and it's one of those tracks that will never stop being entertaining because it offers a completely different race every time you play it. You gotta play this one. Now, for those of you who have been following me for a long time, you'll know that DK Mountain was actually number 1 on my rankings that I did on the first time I ranked all of the Mario Kart tracks before Mario Kart 8 came out 9 years ago. But this track has slowly been trickling down the rankings. Doesn't mean I don't like it. It's a fantastic track. I love how expressive the mountain is as you're flying through it towards the cannon, and it has a ton to offer. You have a shortcut that you can take towards the bottom of the mountain, and of course you don't really see tracks like this. That's the beauty of certain Mario Kart tracks, is that you just don't see something like this. You gotta avoid the boulders. This is almost like an Indiana Jones chase as you're avoiding everything, the obstacles, just everything nature has to throw at you. And one of the more treacherous spots in this track is the bridge. If you can get through it successfully, you can do it. Now, up next is an amazing track. We have Thwomp Ruins from Mario Kart 8 and 8 Deluxe here at 17. You can look and see the rainbow to the left right when you were starting. You can take multiple different types of shortcuts. You can go through these swamps to enter the ruins, and then there will be different parts that become dynamic and will change the landscape of the track for you, such as the giant metal stone wheel that will break this stone wall in front of you, so you can do a glider section in the middle of the lake on laps 2 and 3, depending on how fast or slow you're going. And then you also have this anti-gravity wall that you can ride on as well in multiple parts of Thwomp Ruins. There are just so many different places you can take with this track. It is a beautiful track for races. It has some amazing soundtrack that really fit the theming of this, and I always find it fun to play. It gives some fantastic races. In one of those tracks that doesn't seem like much when you first boot it up, but then once you get into the nitty gritty of the track, you can find a ton of stuff to do. You have Cheese Land from Mario Kart Super Circuit, one of the best tracks in the entire game. Just look at the amount of shortcuts you can do. First, look at the background though. You have the moon and you have multiple cheese mountains, but now take a look at the shortcuts. You can use these ramps to cut off and go over this ramp and cut off a huge corner and take many dirt shortcuts. It's a short, simple track, very fit to its theme, and is one of the most fun with its music and races. But in my opinion, still my favorite Mario Kart Super Circuit track is its Rainbow Road edition. It is beautiful. The music is amazing. The Bowser statue or castle lifting in the sky is magnificent. You have these boost panels that are on the edge of the track for the entirety of the track, allowing you to do some insane shortcuts. You can finish the track in under 45 seconds. You can cut off multiple corners. There is boost panels. You are going fast throughout this entire track, and nothing will stop you from doing what you want to do, not even the track itself. You can take many different paths and you can destroy other racers. Now, yes, I am one of the many who believe that Waluigi Pinball is the #1 Mario Kart DS track. It's not an entirely difficult track, but man, it is so innovative, it is so groundbreaking, and it was so unique for its time. So many boost panels, so many LED lights, such an amazing electronic soundtrack for this track alone. You have Waluigi as the perfect mascot for this track, because who else would it be to embody such a fun and addicting game as pinball? I almost wish that there weren't as many guardrails, so this track can be a bit more challenging and can offer some more shortcut potential, but I understand you have to preserve the authenticity of the game, as the pinballs have to go down the certain tracks to make their way to this area, this wide open area with these bumpers that you can use to try and get yourself out of the dead zone. But that is where you want to go if you want to complete the lap. It's got some unique pinball sound effects, and of course the cannon is the be all end all. It is an amazing masterpiece. And again, another track here that is placed at night has to deal with a lot of cars, and it's just purely based on nostalgia for me, not entirely, but there's a lot of extra factors that go into it. This is Mushroom City. It is one of the more amazing tracks in Mario Kart Double Dash because it has multiple paths, and it includes a secret purple path that you can take to cut both paths in half and make your path to the finish line shorter. A lot of times I said path in there. There are also a lot of dead zones where if you accidentally go the wrong way, you will be counted out of bounds. A more straightforward track, but again, an amazing soundtrack that is shared with Mushroom Bridge. Just a simple layout and many different shortcut potentials that you have to do a little bit of looking around the track to find what you want, and you can get ahead from the racers. This track provides a ton of exciting races. Now, I don't know if this is recency bias, because Mario Kart 7's version of Bowser's Castle at the time of this recording is the latest track featured in the tour for Mario Kart Tour, and yes, I am still playing that game, but man, have I been sleeping on this track. There are so many innovative qualities that this track has in little details compared to the other Bowser's Castle that I had to put it all the way up here. Look at this shortcut that you can take and you end up on top of a spiked pinwheel log, which you can get launched underwater, where there are magma and lava sprouts there underwater for you to get damaged by, and when you come out you are inside a beautiful almost sunset and dark polluted sky with a deep path that can take you through a loop to the finish line with some beautiful rocks and scenery. There's a lot of different paths you can take with this track, and I find myself having a great time playing it. And coming up here at number 11, just barely missing out on the top 10, is Shy Guy Falls from Mario Kart 8 and 8 Deluxe. I always loved this track. It's always been one of my favorite Mario Kart 8 and 8 Deluxe tracks, just because you are going in so many different directions. You are going up, you are going down, left, right, forward, and sideways. Now you're going up a waterfall with boost panels to help get you up there as fast as possible. But as soon as you think you're going all the way up, you take a sudden U-turn and go back down that same waterfall, which you will then make your way through a huge glider ramp that you can't possibly miss to make your way onto an upper cave area or below, and you will hear the Shy Guys singing. There are a lot of small minute details about this track that just really elevate its charm and make me enjoy playing it every single time. But now it is time for the top 10 Mario Kart tracks. Moving to number 10, we have Koopa Beach 1, and I know you guys think I'm insane. I think I'm insane as well for including a Super Mario Kart track in the top 10, but this is one of the most fun tracks I have ever played. Anytime I play this track, straight to the Star Cup or boot up this game and play this track, because it will be some of the most fun you've ever had. Some of the more tightly contested races against either CPUs or your own friends and family. You will have a blast playing this track. You won't fall off often. You will finish it in under a minute, because that is the beauty this track has to offer. I'm sorry, but I just love it. And now that that little rant is out of the way, let's move on to number 9, which of course, guys, is Coconut Mall from Mario Kart Wii. This is a track you gotta respect. Which track has the meme music that everybody knows and loves, which is so widespread that probably people recognize the song more than the track that it comes from? That is this track. That is Coconut Mall. Everybody has a fantastic time playing this track, and whenever even the latest casuals boot up Mario Kart Wii and ask what track they want to play, most likely they're going to say Coconut Mall. This is a track that appeals to everyone from absolute beginners to the most pro, because it is an easy to learn track, but man, it is one of the most difficult to master with all of its tech, whether you're inside the mall or out, whether you're trying to compete for the road record or one of the greatest glitches or not. This track has a ton to offer and offers some of the most entertaining races I've been a part of. And we are sticking to this trend. We have number 8, another Mario Kart Wii track. This is DK Summit, or if you live in Europe or any other part of the world, DK's Snowboard Cross from Mario Kart Wii. Up 2 spots from being in the top 10 a few years back. Not a particularly difficult track, kind of similar to DK Mountain, where you immediately boost off a cannon and then make your way completely downhill, but this track just does so much more to feel like it's embodied within Mario Kart Wii. So many trick ramps, so many little tricks you can do off the bumps, so many zippers that you can take multiple shortcuts with. You have this awesome double shortcut, which takes a lot of skill to do at an elite level. You have snow that is burdened in front and in the middle of the track. Shy Guys to avoid. A lot of events can happen in this track. There's a lot of stuff to do, and there's no way you will be slowing down on here anytime soon. And now coming up, we have number 7, a Mario Kart 7 track. For number 7, guys, it is Rainbow Road from this game. I didn't even plan that, if you can believe that, but take a look at this masterpiece. Let's start off with the music. Some of the most inspiring soundtracks of all time in any Mario Kart track. This is what Mario Kart 64's Rainbow Road wishes it was. A huge one-lap extravaganza with some beautiful music, really meant to celebrate the entire history of Mario Kart and the evolution of this franchise has taken with the utmost recent game and this track takes that to the moon, as we're literally on Saturn right now as I am saying this. Rainbow Road in this game does so much to satisfy the user, to satisfy the player, to make you want to never leave this track. You feel like you're on an everlasting journey. Now you're on the moon, which has never been featured in Mario Kart Rainbow Road before. Shocking, but now it took 7 installments to make it to the moon, and as you plan to make your way towards the finish line, you now have this candy cane looking straw tube thing that you make yourself fly over, and you go through many different star rings, avoid the asteroids. As you make your way up, the last challenge, nearly fall off, but you take a look at the beautiful starry sky, take one last shortcut, and finish strong. That is a Rainbow Road. But believe it or not, everyone, that is not the best Rainbow Road in my opinion. Nostalgia takes over, because Double Dash's Rainbow Road is still my favorite. It was number 1 in my rankings from 5 years ago, but I'm not going to let the nostalgia take me over. Rainbow Road is a fantastic track. This is Mario Kart Double Dash's version. It's got Mushroom City below, so it sticks true to the interconnected universe of this game. It has a ton of boosts. This track's best mechanic is that you have shooting stars that can land on the track, and when you're playing in Versus or Grand Prix mode, those shooting stars become actual invincibility stars that you can run into and become invincible. It's happened to me a couple times, and I am still blown away by the fact that that has not been replicated in a single Mario Kart track before. This has some of the more inspiring and beautiful soundtracks any Rainbow Road has had before. I love the cannon and how it shoots you upward this time instead of for more horizontally based. This is amazing, and it's translucent. You can see what's going on while you're inside the cannon. You have a ton of boost panels. The challenge does not end, and of course the structures in the sky, rainbow versions of a bomb, the red shell, the Bowser shell, the star, so many items, and this track is very complete and takes you through a full journey. But guys, we have a huge upset. That's no longer my favorite Mario Kart Double Dash track. That now belongs to Dino Jungle, leapfrogging 24 spots to make its way into the top 5. This is an amazing track that offers some fantastic races, you guys. What other track has a full-on 3D model dinosaur that you can drive under its legs and then eventually go to a bridge where you can see its full-on face and almost interact with it? This is a very skill-based track with bridges that are frustrating to nearly everybody, but if you can conquer them, you will feel so satisfied. There are so many water geysers that can get in your way, but they are always the perfect amount of challenge. This track is just a lot of fun, and I always enjoy the beautiful scenery. Of course, the soundtrack with this sharing with DK Mountain was a fantastic smart choice because it really fits with this track incredibly well. Again, the water geysers provide a great challenge. This track offers amazing races, and I can never get enough. But let's not stop there, everyone. We have number 4 to talk about. One of my favorite tracks of all time, of course, Big Blue from Mario Kart 8 and 8 Deluxe. Even though it dropped 2 spots, it is a fantastic track. One of the best I have ever raced, the cleanest, the most polished. Ken again has some beautifully innovative ideas with the coin gradient ramps that you can just drive on to get yourself loaded on coins. You have glider panels, you have those Toad's Factory conveyor belts, you have the boost panels for starting lines and lap signs. You can take amazing shortcuts such as this. You have a fast forwarding water path. It takes a lot of Mario Kart Wii and Mario Kart 8's ideas and just meshes them one into one beautifully flowing track that has a ton of great scenery. And the soundtrack, again, whatever lap you're on, the soundtrack is amazing. The anti-gravity fits in perfectly, and just take a look at the structure you're headed towards in the end. Big Blue, you are incredible. And as we enter the top 3, ladies and gentlemen, I just want you to remember one thing. Tracks need to be so much fun and so brilliant, and it is one unique list. This is my list. Bowser's Castle from Mario Kart Wii is on here for me. I love playing this track. Whenever I'm bored playing Mario Kart Wii, I will just boot up this track because the amount of tricks I can take, the amount of sharp turns I can make, the amount of shortcuts I can complete, and the challenge that this tracks give me, how satisfying it is to drive. There is almost no other track in Mario Kart history that is more satisfying to drive than this one. because there are so many different ways you can drive the track. You can go through this section, you can take a glitch, as I will right here demonstrate, that you can cut off a rear circular path, and this track is just action, action, action in every corner. There's nothing that seems boring in this track. There's even multiple tricks that you can take off of lava geysers at the end. This is one you must play because you are always on your toes, you're always thinking, you're always making moves, but I love it so much for that. And as we hit up number 2, guys, it's time to hit the dance floor with Electrodrome from Mario Kart 8 in 8 Deluxe. One of the greatest tracks I have ever played. Just take a look at the atmosphere, the only single worded named track in Mario Kart history, if you believe that. The music is phenomenal. You've never heard anything like this before. Some electronic music that bumps you up to the max. Take a look at the track effects. Your wheels are being followed by some LED squares right below you, and then you can hit the anti-gravity boost panels to get some extra boost ahead, and then you'll get screen filters with little translucent squares surrounding the edges of your screen as you're on this like guitar mapped out area, and you can keep drifting and drifting, take multiple paths, take multiple shortcuts, enjoy the atmosphere with all of the neon lights and the stages and the boom boxes, and even the piranha plants and pipes are LEDs. This is a track that you just don't see anywhere else, and I love it. And let me reiterate to you one more time, my favorite track in Mario Kart history is Neo Bowser City. It's the #1 track, up a few spots from already being in the top 5. I was kind of hiding the fact away from the previous ranking videos, but I had to go out of my shell this time and let you all know that this is my true #1 favorite. It's a cult classic. You've got the animated neon lights, the utopian atmosphere, the rain physics, and the rain effects glowing right in front of you. Many twists and turns, multiple places to fall off, but also multiple shortcuts that you could take that require a ton of skill, some that not even I have completed once before. But man, this track has so much to offer, gives some of the most entertaining races, and I always pick it online. Guys, this is my list, so I know a lot of you will disagree with me, but Neo Bowser City is one of the most fantastic and complete tracks I have ever played, and I will always love it. And that's it. I just ranked all 145 Mario Kart tracks. I know there's currently rumors of another Mario Kart in development, but when that game comes out, hopefully, will I do this again? I'm not 100% sure. I'll give it some thought, but regardless, if you enjoyed this series, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to my channel if you're new, because I got a lot coming soon.